Alrighty, so it is time to interrupt all of the Monster Jam video uploads for a NASCAR video upload. I do hope y'all been enjoying all the content that I got from show 1 of 3 um, at the SNH Arena for Arena Championship Series East for Monster Jam from yesterday. Freestyle videos will be going up after this one goes up. Check out all the other content that I've uploaded though. Also make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you don't miss out on future videos and streams. Thank you to all the new subscribers who have joined the channel recently. I appreciate it. Um, let's see if we can hit 850 subscribers soon. Um, and with that being said, let's get into this because it was pretty tame early on, and then it got chaotic towards the end. So, Corey LaJoy and Brennan Poole both start at the back. LaJoy for a control arm change, Poole for adjustments. Not for adjustments, that is. We get caution on the track for fluid early on. Hamlin felt like he had a tire coming apart. Apparently, he had hit the fluid or something like that. Suarez gets a speeding penalty, so he drops to the back and never really recovered throughout the day, unfortunately. Poole ends up exiting the race with a transaxle issue. Allmendinger makes contact with the wall, and Martrix Jr., who dominated early on, takes the stage 1 victory. Byron second, Wallace third, Chastain fourth, Busch fifth, Kozlowski sixth, Stenhouse Jr. seventh, Harvick eighth, Reddick ninth, and Bell 10th. We get green flag pit stops around 45 laps into stage 2. Reddick makes contact with the wall thanks to Ryan Blaney. Then Josh Berry gets in the wall in front of the leaders. And then on the final lap of stage 2, Martin Truex Jr. makes contact with Ross Chastain. Chastain gets in the wall. Truex spins off of said contact in turn 4, and Chastain takes the stage 2 victory under caution. Busch second, Larson third, Byron fourth, Kozlowski fifth, Bell sixth, Harvick seventh, Blaney eighth, Stenhouse ninth, and Truex manages to get 10th. So, once Chastain got up near the front, he was not safe. Well, kind of. So you have this with Truex Jr., which honestly, Chastain had to check up because he had his teammate Suarez out in front of him, and he was gaining on him going into the corner on the final lap. Truex Jr. got underneath him and just pushed him up into the wall, and then Truex Jr. spun himself out basically. Um, but yeah, he would not be the only driver to get involved with Chastain today, and we'll get into that in a little bit. Big wreck on the backstretch after the restart. Eric Jones loses a right rear tire, or I should say the wheel, gets sideways off turn 2 and spins out, and a plethora of other cars get involved. Newman, yes, Ryan Newman is back, by the way. And speaking of people who are back, Carl Edwards is back in the booth during stage 2. Newman back running the first of 5 races, I believe, for Rick Ware Racing in the 51. After everything that happened with Cody Ware earlier this year, so they got guys filling in. But Newman, Gilliland, Suarez, Austin, Dillon, Gibbs, Gregson, Dunn. Newman reported that his ribs were hurting as if like 3 of them were broke, although this was later clarified to be coming from his seat not fitting properly. Uh, Suarez, Dillon, and McDowell done for the day. We get a caution a little bit later for Stenhouse Jr. spinning out, loses left rear goes down. Race continues on after this restart. Busch gets in the wall at one point. Gibbs gets in the wall. BJ McLeod, sponsored by Out of the Groove, and had the logos of the guys from that podcast on it, and a couple of other ones as well. Unfortunately, his day ended before the finish of the race. But awesome to see all those guys on the car. Danny B, Eric Eastab, Iceberg, Darian, et cetera, et cetera. Green flag pit stops begin with 48 laps to go. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. gets a speeding penalty. Newman spins out and brings out the caution with 18 laps to go. And coming to the ensuing restart, Bell had to pit due to having a loose wheel, or feeling like he had a loose wheel, which ended his chances to win. And then in turns 1 and 2, we get another big wreck. Now, in front of said wreck, Larson and Chastain got in the wall a little bit together. Chastain making contact with the wall because of Kyle. And we'll get to that in a moment again. But behind them, Truex Jr. slides up into Joey Logano, gets spun into the wall, and the top lane just completely stacks up. Harvick, Reddick, Almirola, Elliott, Kozlowski, Blaney, probably a couple of others as well, all involved. Truex Jr. done for the day. And Chastain had some comments on the radio for what Larson did. And then on the ensuing restart, Chastain takes the bottom. Larson's on the top. Chastain had been on the top previously. And in turns 1 and 2, caution again. Chastain and Larson wreck. And when Chastain gets turned into the wall and then he's sideways, Larson just keeps his foot in the gas. Basically, he got Chastain sideways on his front bumper, and he just will not freaking like back off, unless he eventually did. Um, Larson was ticked. His crew chief Cliff Daniels was pissed on the radio, saying this is 3 straight weeks that Chastain's fucked them over. Um, I mean, it did look like Larson had backed off just enough when Chastain was kind of pushing him up, because Chastain was trying to give Larson what he gave him. And I'm telling you right now, this is the new Ross versus Denny from last year. It's gonna be interesting because next week is the North Wilkesboro All Star Race, which means pretty soon y'all will be getting the halfway point video, the halfway regular season video, I should say. Um, y'all will be getting that pretty soon, as well. But yeah, Chastain gets knocked out of the race. Larson has to pit for the damage, and his chances of winning go out the door. But I mean, they're just racing, man. But I understand where the fan base is coming from. Chastain, him and Hocevar, they were so likable at one point, and now on track shit is making them unlikable to parts of the fan base. I won't say to everybody in the fan base because there's still plenty who do like them both. I think it's become a little bit harder to cheer for Hocevar than it has for Chastain. Just because Hocevar has deliberately done some stupid shit. Whereas Chastain, he just seems to just be there, and then whoever's near him just gets fucked somehow. Um, but it's interesting to see how much the fan base has turned on the both of them in the last like year or two. Um, so anyway, William Byron takes the white flag. Uh, and he ends up getting the win at Darlington. Redemption for losing this race to Joey Logano last year after Logano gave him the dump and run. This is the 100th win for the number 24 car in NASCAR. Gordon had the previous 93, and Byron's now got his 7th career Cup Series victory. So on Mother's Day, you absolutely love to see it. Um, and he did it in that like I Chroma Fusion, I think it's called, paint scheme that Gordon had ran. I believe at the All Star race back in the '90s, and lost that like on the final lap. I believe Slapshoes had talked about that in one of his Mark Martin videos because he was there in the crowd. Martin was second, and then something happened to Gordon and Martin won. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but if you're an avid Slapshoes watcher, you will know what I'm talking about, or I might just be talking out my ass. But anyway, um, crazy race. Toward the back end at least. Another great Darlington race, if you ask me. Harrison Burton got a top 10. Justin Haley got a top 10. Bubba Wallace recovered after pit road issues earlier to get like fifth. Harvick grabs second. So overall, it was still a really good race. But the Larson Chastain thing is going to continue. It's still, oh my god, it's going to be interesting to see how that turns out next week in North Wilkesboro. In the All Star race. Which, by the way, how fucking cool is it that NASCAR is going back to North Wilkesboro? That's legit insane. I cannot wait for the All Star race. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Can't wait to watch. With all that being said, thank y'all for watching. Hope y'all enjoyed. Make sure to check out all the Monster Jam content that I've uploaded so far, and all the remaining content that's gonna be coming up after this video. Um, please make sure to like and subscribe, and especially like all the videos, because YouTube doesn't like it when you post a lot of videos in succession. So I need the likes to help me out to uh to garner attention towards those vids. There's a playlist. I'll have that linked at the end of this video and in the description below, so it makes it easier to find them because most of them are less than a minute long, so they're in the YouTube Shorts category. But if y'all can help me out with all that, I'd really appreciate it. Make sure again to like and subscribe. Thank y'all for watching. I will catch you all next time. Peace.